Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I've literally been wanting to do for such a long time, and it's tips on successful club owning. Okay, I know there have literally been so many videos in the past on like successful club owning, but every single time I just feel like I want to add something to those videos. So that's why I'm making my own video about this topic. So I hope you enjoy, and just as a side warning, I am not doing this as a voiceover. I am literally talking while I'm training. So if you know me, you know that I tend to forget what I'm talking about while I'm training. So yeah, just warning you ahead of time. So without further ado, let's get into the video. I just want to start off by saying that I know this video is about club owning, but let me just say there are already so many clubs out there, so many struggling clubs because there aren't enough members. If you think about it, everyone in Star Stable who is above level 10, I believe, has the ability to start a club. So if everyone in Star Stables had their own club, there would be no members. If you really want to help the community, I recommend that you consider becoming a member for a club that is already struggling to help them out, because starting your own club will just make more struggling clubs. So if you actually want to help, why not join and help a club that's struggling compared to just making the problem bigger? That's something that I've had to think a lot about in my Star Stable journey, I guess. Like, I am always passionate about starting a club, and I have always been, but when it comes to helping the community and just, supporting other people, I think it's much better to join a club at this point in time than start your own club. And that depends from server to server, but I know that on many servers that's a big issue, and that's why there are literally so many advertisements in global chat, is because owners need members in order to own a club. Otherwise, it's not a club, it's just you. So I just wanted to put that out there before I got into the video, because this video is actually about club owning. But if you think that joining a club would help better, then do that. Try it out, and if you don't like it, then maybe you can reconsider. So now I'm actually going to get into the video that I was planning on making. And I'm kind of going in steps here, starting from what's the first step you should take to becoming a club owner, and what's the last step you should take. So to start it off, make sure you are experienced in whatever you're club owning in. So if you want to make a dressage club, have experience in dressage. If you're making a jumping club, have experience in jumping. If you want to be an eventing club, make sure you have experience in all those things. Okay, hold on. Okay, so that's what I would recommend as your first step. If that means joining a different club before starting your own, then do that. You always want to do what will be best for your members in the future, because if you are not experienced and you start your own club, members are going to realize that you're not experienced, and they'll leave because you don't have experience and there's nothing they can learn from. I've joined so many clubs and where I know more than the dressage instructors and club owners, and I find that hilarious, because if the purpose of your club is to teach people, how are you supposed to teach people if you don't have experience. So that's the first thing. Have experience, join dressage clubs for a couple months maybe, and then you can take steps to club owning, and it'll help you out so much more in the end because members will start to notice how much experience you have and they'll want to come to you. So that's first step. Secondly, this is like very important. Be of age and have maturity. So like if you are very young, I understand that like even people who are young can still be mature, but if you are 6 years old, I'm sorry to say this, but I'd wait until you are maybe just a little bit older, because a lot of the times club owning takes a lot of responsibility. It takes a lot of maturity, and like even nowadays I question, am I mature enough for club owning, even though I'm already at what people consider a mature age. So that's one thing to think about before you club own, because even though you may think that you're mature, ask other people, ask your friends, ask your family, do you think I'm mature? Because if you aren't mature, and keep in mind, grammar and spelling counts, people will notice your professionalism, and if you treat the game and the club responsibly and you take this on in a mature way, people are going to notice that and they're going to want to join. But if you aren't mature and if you don't treat things professionally in a professional way, taking things seriously, then people are going to feel like it's all a joke. So I know that's kind of like hard to think about for some people, because sometimes you just want to start a club so bad that you don't really think about these things, but always think about that, because your maturity will definitely influence how your members act towards you. If you want to grow a very big club, it's extremely important that you're of age and mature. Okay. Next, be in a good mental place. Like, I cannot say this strongly enough. If you aren't like happy in your life, if you don't feel happy, if there are a lot of changes coming in your life, then the moment you start that club, you're going to realize that, and you just spent 50 star coins on something that you might disband in like a week. So that's like definitely one of the most important things before you actually start the club. Am I in a good mental place? Can I provide what I need, what the members need? And can I persevere if something does turn up? Because if you are not in a happy place, your members are going to notice that, and that can cause a lot of frustration among people, because when I join a club, I want the club owner to be the best possible person they can be while they're club owning. So if you're not in that good mental space, then wait a month or two to see if that changes, and maybe then you're ready to club own it. But I would not take on such a big responsibility without having thought about, how am I mentally right now? And, sometimes there are just really stressful months of the year where you have so much work overload. It's just a lot of things going on. And as much as I want to start a club, I have to think about that, and I have to prioritize how my members would feel if I was in that space while I was club owning. Okay, so now we're kind of heading into the club owning stage. Once you have already kind of passed these 3 steps, you know you're experienced, you're of age, you're mature, you're in a good mental space, it is ready to start, getting ready for your club owning. So first off, before you start the club, you want to find a good outfit and think about some possible club names. Do not start your club on this stage, because I always find it important. Sometimes I'll think that I can make a club, And then I go to the club person in like Silverglade and I start looking at the names and I'm like, shoot, I don't think I can make a club because I can't find a good name, a good outfit. So always, you know, there are websites that give you all the Star Stable club names. So you don't actually need to go to the club person at Star Stables. You can just like, I'll put a screenshot of that website and it allows you to see all the possible club names without having to go to, you know, the little club person in Silverglade or other places. I'm not sure if there are club people in other places. You and just like scroll through the names, see if there's a name that you would like, any names that you find interesting or cool. And after that, start, you know, looking at possible outfits. And once you've found a good outfit that's unique and that you think members will appreciate and like, then it is time to start your club. I just want to enforce though how important it is to have a good club outfit. There are just like so many, like if your club members don't like your club outfit, it's gonna very much influence their opinion of the club. Because like I don't know if this is the same for anyone else, but I would never spend my star coins on something I didn't like. Therefore, if your club has an outfit that's maybe worth like 500 star coins, I'm not going to spend 500 star coins on something I don't like. So make sure other people like it, get other people's opinions. And there have been times where I thought like the outfit looked really good, but no one else did. So make sure you're also asking for other people's opinions and taking those opinions as acceptable opinions that you're going to understand and appreciate. Because sometimes you don't know as much as the other people around you know. Sometimes the people around you are more knowledgeable. So listen to their opinions and respect those. Okay, now it's time to start your club. So pick a name or a name that you've been thinking about for your outfit, whatever you have in mind. Pick that name. And let me just say, 3-word club names are okay. Like, there's just this stigma, I feel, that, like, if you have a 3-word club name, that it's not going to be a good club name because it's not catchy. But there are so many 3-word club names that are good and catchy. So, you know, like, just don't be afraid of that. I know that, like, a lot of people think about that, and for a lot of club name idea videos, there's only like two name options. Like I know I made a video about club name ideas and I only put 2-word club names because at the time I wasn't sure, like, are 2-word club names okay? But they really are not 2-word, 3-word club name options. Those are also okay. So just don't like feel afraid of making 3-word club names. Okay, after that, shoot, I fell in the water. After that, it's time to advertise in global chat. This is a step that I really wanted to talk about because I have not seen a lot of people talk about this, and I think it's so important to talk about because I've always struggled with this. Like, I don't know if anyone else, but like, I always struggle knowing what's a good club advertisement. Shoot. Okay, I'm sorry. I almost burped. Okay. Like, what's a good club advertisement? What are people going to like? And I've found that a lot of people like excitement in club advertisements. If you have a really boring club advertisement, like, hey, we're a dressage club, yeah, we're cool, we're fun, we play games, friend me to join. I feel like, you know, some people like that and you'll probably get some members from that, but it's also important to give a good overview of your club. State the things that you think are worth talking about. If you think that competing is a big part of your club, you participate in a lot of competitions, say that. If most of your club is about attending practices and learning, state that. If you think, like there are so many things that you can say. Whatever you feel most excited about in the club, whatever drives you to feel more passionate, say that, because people are going to notice your passion for that and they're going to want to hear more. And also don't take all your time on advertising, because I know how overwhelming it can be when you don't have like 10 members. If you have no members, it can feel really, really overwhelming because you feel like you need to keep advertising and advertising until you have more members. Just take your time, however long it takes. If you lose members over the fact that you don't have a lot of members, so be it. Like, there are always going to be people that don't like the fact that you don't have a lot of members. But every club has to start somewhere. So even if you think that you're doing something wrong, just keep going. And if you do notice that you have not gained members at all in a month of advertising, then think about what you can do to gain more members. Sometimes you have to realize that you're doing something wrong, and sometimes you're just, completely putting yourself down because of nothing. So just always keep reflecting and analyzing. How many members did you get today? Is that good? Is that bad? But don't overwhelm yourself. The one thing that you should never do as a club owner is to overwhelm yourself, because overwhelming yourself is how you lose passion for club owning. So if you notice yourself getting kind of unmotivated, that means it's time for a break. It's time to stop. Don't let it get to a point where you don't want to club own anymore, because if that's the case, there's no way to go back. You really just, every single time I've felt like that in club owning, I've had to disband the club. And that's just because I couldn't anymore. I wasn't passionate anymore. So just always keep that in mind, that overwhelming yourself is the number one thing you cannot do as a club owner. If that means getting help from others, then recruit, co-owners and stuff like that. And that can be very hard when you're first starting out. But if you're a bigger club and you feel overwhelmed, then ask some people to take over. Sometimes you have to take a little break, and that's totally okay. We are all humans. We need breaks sometimes. So just keep that in mind. And okay, I just crashed into a tree. Way to go. Next is give lessons, be on time, and persist. So if you are in dressage club, for example, make sure that your members are getting everything they can out of the club. If someone asks for a private lesson, give them a private lesson. Make sure your members are staying excited about the club. That does not mean that you have to every second be in touch with your members and make sure they're excited about the club, because I know how it can feel when you're unsure if your members are happy with you or not. But just stay confident in yourself, persist, be on time to the events that you plan, the practices you plan, because if you don't attend them, then people are going to think that you aren't so passionate about this club owning, and they're going to leave. So always make sure you're on time for your practices. Always make sure that you're on top of things in the club. Otherwise, people are going to notice. So just make sure of that. And then the last step is to just grow. Do all these things and just keep growing over time. It really depends. Some clubs, they get 20 members in a day. Some get 0 in a day. And some it takes 8 months to reach 10 members. So just keep that in mind, that it really depends from person to person. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this really long talking video. I know I kind of totally exhausted myself over it, but because I'm really not used to talking this long in mornings, but I had lots of fun talking. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed. I'm pretty sure that Arabella is very happy She looks so cute. I can't get over the fact how cute she looks. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm looking forward to the next video, and I'll see you next week. So, bye-bye.